Well, Mark, what's it like to get back into the throes of fall camp?
Well, it's been very, very good. Obviously, we worked as much as we could within the parameters of what they allow you to do during the summer. But it's very different. Now we can line up against people. Now you can put formations in front of you. With the rules of what you can do in the summer, you can't do that stuff. It's very minimal. Time is very minimal, which is still good, you know. But it's great to be able to get out here and have so many reps. Because right now, the way Coach does it, we've got so many reps on film. There's so much we can grade off of. There's so much the guys can look at. You know, we've got some talented guys, so now being able to see what you're doing right and encourage that, and then see what you're doing wrong, and then correct that is what it's all about. So it's a lot of fun, and you know, at this time of year, it's more or less all day and all night. So that makes it good. It makes it good for them. Makes it good for us. Well, I'm assuming it makes it good for them. It makes it good for me. I enjoy it.
Even this early on, when you do have all those extra reps that you can get in, do you see guys maybe making extra leaps that you may have not been able to see early on in spring?
There's no doubt. Now, spring ball obviously is always great because, hey, there's no game on Saturday, and you know, you're just worried about getting better and trying to do new things, try new things out. Whereas in the fall, now we don't have a game this coming week, of course, but you know, an opponent's coming. It's imminent here soon. So yeah, with all those different reps, it is neat to see guys that haven't had as many reps be able to step in and get some. You know, a guy in the last few days, especially the last 2 days, TJ Capers has gotten more reps than he's ever gotten. He's fully healthy now, which is huge, because he was not last year. You're talking about a guy that showed up and got himself mentally engaged. I'm not going to say prepared, but engaged, and then got his body healthy, went through spring ball, and he's a very different guy right now. So to be able to see him get reps yesterday and today, he's starting to remember how to be physical, which is cool, you know, because you're sometimes guys come right back from an injury. Some guys, they got to work through it a little bit. There's a little bit of that timidness that sometimes you have to overcome, and it was good to see him yesterday. And then today he was having fun. Now he going to drink some more fluids because he cramped up a little bit at the end. That's not an injury. That's just eat a little better, drink a little better. But he's doing a nice job in comparison to coming off an injury and not being out there before, and just a lot of reps, like you said.
A little bit more on TJ. I remember a few months ago, Coach English challenged him to keep pushing himself and take that next step. How have you seen him, maybe between now and then, take that next step and really play to the full potential that he definitely has?
Well, the neat thing about that is, you know, I think we got to all be able to look at the whole spectrum and say, all right, really, that guy is an early enrollee freshman right now. And I know he was here last year, and I know he registered, and I know all that stuff, but he was dealing with that injury. So really what he is an early enrollee freshman right now, if you really think about what he's been able to actually go through, in my mind. Yeah, I think what he did with that information was great. First thing he did was, hey, tell me what I can do. We mapped out a little plan, and that guy has done a nice job. And there's still lots of room to grow, but he's done a nice job of taking the information he gathered and then going and making changes. So that's what you want. If you're going to coach guys and you give them information, you want them to take the information and grow from it. And there's no doubt. I mean, is he where he's going to be a year or 2 or 3 from now? Absolutely not. But what he is light years ahead of where he was last January, February, and as we started into spring football. And that's kind of normal. I mean, the guys are very young. Like I said, last year he was, you know, he could have been a high school senior when he came to get his knee right and do all that stuff. And so now he's really a freshman in college. A young guy now. Talented guy, but a young guy.
Stanquan Clark is someone that saw some reps. Stanquan Clark is someone that saw some reps as a freshman, and based on what we've seen in spring and early through fall, it seems like he's starting to be primed to take that next step. Is that something that you're seeing behind the scenes as well?
Stanquan has grown a lot as well, like you said. You're correct. You know, like anything, all of us included, myself, most of them, we're all still trying to grow, improve, get better, figure things out. As soon as you stop, you know, growing, you're out of it. But yes, Stanquan does a good job. You know, once again, to come in and play 10 to 15 snaps a game as a true freshman, and play at a fairly high level. I mean, he made some plays that helped us win games. Made some big plays that helped us win games at times. But to be able to learn in that situation on a 10-win season, I think it's going to play. You know, it's going to be paramount for him this year to be highly successful because of getting those reps in. You know, he wasn't getting mop-up duty last year. He was in there playing those 10 to 15 reps during real time, real situations, and then be able to carry that over through spring and fall. And to say he's 100% refined and polished and everywhere he needs to be? No. And he knows that. I would assume he'd be the first to tell you that. But to say he's made, again, huge strides, both on the field and just a complete package of what you want a linebacker, I would say, yeah, he's doing a great job.
Jerry Davis, how's he impressed you so far?
Well, it was neat to have him come in. He's a guy that, I don't know if I told you this before or not, but I actually recruited him out of high school a long time ago. 6 years ago, something like that. I kind of make fun of him about it a little bit, and then talked to him a little bit last year, and then he ends up coming here this year. What I'll give him and tell him, man, he has had a tremendous commitment to work ethic. I've not heard one person say, hey, man, that kid's a pain in the butt in the weight room. Or, hey, man, he misses tell you all right. He does all that stuff because he's kind of an old head and understands, hey, I'm here to play football, get an education, do all my stuff. He takes care of that kind of business. But, man, he comes in our room every day, and he's up in the front, and he's pretty much on point with all his questions, answers things he says. But then he'll stay after and say, Coach, can we just talk about X, Y, Z? And he'll want to ask questions. Now, on the field, he is learning to play with leverage better. I think last year he was a little bit high. All right, he's a high motor guy with a great attitude. So now you start learning to play with leverage. Now, getting to the ball and just dragging people down changes from that to getting to the ball, striking, and knocking people back. And when he starts doing that, which he is and has, he becomes very, very, wonderful part of what we're trying to do to win ball games, no doubt. And he is. He's going to play a lot of football games.
How important is this time of year for building depth?
Well, a lot of that, like you guys said, starts during spring ball, carries over during the summer, because the summer is a lot more about learning, because you can't line up formations and stuff like that. It's about learning on the board, in the video, and all that kind of stuff. So right now, you're seeing who took that classroom, all right, and we did have some walkthroughs and stuff, but you're not able to engage with an opponent, or offense versus defense, that type of stuff. But now, who took that stuff we talked about and can then, with the pads on the first day we had, I think that was the first day of the shows, move around, know what to do, and then be at the right place doing the right thing, and then being physical. So yeah, you're finding out, do we have ones, or are we too deep, or are we going to be able to survive if somebody has a hangnail and put the third guy out there and win a ball game, So it's huge. I mean, you got to know which guys you can trust and say that guy is not just a survive and advance guy. He's actually, we can trust him to go out there and make plays. So I think it's, it's extremely important to figure out how many quality backers you have, not just how many bodies you have.
Kind of bouncing off of that, Jeff Bromwich mentioned this offseason that he likes the depth on the defensive line. He likes the depth on the secondary, but he'd like to see the depth at the linebacker spot developed a little bit more. Kind of bouncing off that, what do you think of the depth overall at linebacker, both at inside and at that star position?
Well, the guys right now, I mean, if you notice last year, we had really 3 guys that played linebacker. And they did a good job. I mean, obviously we won some ball games. But this year, right now, I would say we got at least, and I'm not telling you it's going to be dead even split or any of that kind of stuff, but we got at least a 2 deep where you say, all right, these guys are making things happen. And then I'm telling you, with Capers and Trent Carter, and they may end up at 2 or 3 deep, may change as well as the starters. That's always open for debate. But I feel more comfortable myself. I can't speak for coach, but I feel more comfortable myself saying that we got at least a 2 deep, where I don't know if we truly had 2 deep, and possibly, those third guys, you wouldn't want to be your starters right now, and they would be, but they're coming on to where you feel comfortable that you could win ball games with them in there. So I think it is improving, and still needs to improve, but I feel better about it than what I did, at this point last year.
All right. Throwing one more, just want to ask about TJ Quinn. Got obviously made a huge jump last year. What have you seen from him following the big year last year coming into
TJ has just continued, he did a good job all the years he's been there, but didn't get to play very much. For one reason or another, whether it be people, personnel, whatever. But last year, he's thrown into it, and he is the guy. TJ, he didn't get very many breaks at all defensive. Every blue moon he'd get out, but he was playing the majority of every game. And he physically held up, and he mentally held up, and he was a quality performer for us last year. Now, obviously we had a list of things and weaknesses and strengths that we talked about in the offseason. I felt like he did a great job during spring ball, And then now he is truly stepping up, and was then too in spring ball, but as not just a good player, right, but a great leader. And not just the leadership, but with TJ, I think he plays well, but he understands, hey, I want to go play at another level one day. I got to show up and be very physical. And when I show up, I got to be there with bad intentions. And that's just football, as in, hey, I got to strike, run my feet, knock these things back, not make a tackle, get them down. All right, he does this stuff. He's a smart guy. He knows all the answers. Now get there, show up, and make the play in a way that guy doesn't want to come in your direction again. I think TJ's doing a fantastic job. He's fun.